What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. We're on a new body of water. It's over there. We're sitting on a dock. You know what that means. It is time for a dockside unboxing. Don't worry, nobody's waiting at the ramp. We're not clogging it up. It's a rainy day. It's a rainy day, so we can take our time. All right, but we want to share with you guys some brand new baits that dropped from a couple companies that you guys know, one of which is Great Lakes Finesse, and another of which will be the Bank & Creek bag, which I believe is July, August, this one is. So it's every 2 months, 40 bucks, pound for pound, best subscription fishing option.
By pound for pound, it means dollar for dollar, and dollar to donuts and or waffles. This is the best thing happening for your dollars.
Yeah, Belgian waffles. All right, let's get into it. So we got a couple new baits here from Great Lakes Finesse that we want to take a look at. Can you stop Insta-ing for
working here, bruh?
You want to show me that bait? So first up,
you want to show me that bait?
You want to show me that bait? So first up, they took their standard minnow design. They added a forked tail, and they actually opened up the belly of it. This is called the hover minnow. Check that thing out.
I'm trying to make sure you see this part right here where it's sort of splayed open, like they cut the belly open on this fish.
It's concave. It's like a V shape almost, which should help it get a little bit of lift. It's going to hover minnow, you get it, and you can.
But it's also gonna dart, so the when this hits water and has some speed on it, it's gonna shoot side to side as you're retrieving it. Like Jeff said, it's gonna have a little bit of slower fall rate, but this is the big thing. It's just erratic action. You might actually think when you first fish this that you're fishing it wrong because it's just gonna spiral, which means you basically rigged it wrong. That's typically what that means. Do not be discouraged. Do not quit. Do not think it's weird. You're doing it. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. That is called the death spiral, and it will shock you how many fish you can catch. So just know that with the first time you fish it. Also, only use this terminal from Great Lakes Finesse.
You'll trash the bait if you don't.
And on top of that, tilt it this way just a bit. And on top of that, the wires are so thin on these baits, they're going to hook themselves. So no giant swings, and these are calibrated with the right shaft or the right hook shank length to fit these plastics exactly. I'm not joking you, this terminal, it's easy to just be like, that's a football head or that's a jig head. These are specifically designed to work with these plastics, make them last a long time, and there's your value. Even though these are expensive, there's your value.
And 100% you need to take that advice, because I have bent out the hooks on some of these, using them on a higher pound braid test and bait casters. So they're really ideally set up for a spinning setup, something like what Paul has right here. We've got a 7 to a 7.6. This is the Tactical Elite. I have the Taction Bass from TFO over there. Both running Shimano's. He's got the Stratic, I got the Nasi, and both are great options. You're running lighter test line. Typically you're going 10 pound test or less. And these guys like grew up fishing St. Lawrence, like legendary smallmouth waters. These are ideally smallmouth baits, but they absolutely work on largemouth bass because we've been catching on them too.
Crappie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. So these guys, they test all this stuff out, St. Lawrence, St. Clair, like all those different spots for big smallies. So can these catch giant fish? Absolutely they have. If you want proof, just go to their page, Great Lakes Finesse. If you want to be embarrassed by the size fish that you catch, and we trust us,
Me too.
We feel that way.
Every time I check their page.
Look at their page, look at their videos on their website. You can see we will never do the justice that these deserve to the action that they actually have underwater. So just watch their underwater footage and you'll see, and then you'll get it. But trust us, we've been fishing these, especially the drop minnow, I think is hands down my favorite GLF
most
bait.
Number of hours into it, for sure.
Easily. That and their underspin, the sneaky underspin, are like our favorites. So what else is in here? Bunch of new colors, bunch of new different products. So they got the hover minnow in a million different colors here, from like cool little goby colors to, is this it? Yeah, stuff like this. Little two-tone color laminates options in there, all sorts of cool stuff.
Those are new, but they've got these ghost options. This is Hyper Finesse. So it's not that you're looking for a clear bait, it's like the water situation. Another new color, at least for this item, is the full chartreuse. So that is new as well.
I think they have a total of 15 colors now in all of their baits. So they upped the colors offered in the drop minnow as well. So here is like this magma color. They call it Fire Craw, that red and orange.
Bro, look at the smelt. If that's not screaming bait fish, I don't know where you live. That's insane.
Also, they just dropped some new sizes. So they have a 3.25 inch in the drop minnow.
For your largemouth boys, let me break this out for you. So your smallmouth ultra finesse, like you're gonna have, you know, a tougher time finding the plastics, that 275. It's mini, and you can see the belly's mini. If you want to weed out some fish, there's your larger size. Also works with a few more hook options, and probably is gonna set up for some more traditional stuff. These guys are like weaponizing finesse fishing. Like that's what this is like.
Weaponizing.
We are weaponizing finesse, baby. So this is like micro, and this is just like your standard finesse.
Yeah.
Both of these are gonna catch fish anywhere. It just gives you another tool in the toolkit.
There you go. I love it. All right, what else do we got? We've got this is funny. So we just had Dan Miguel, the main guy behind the brain, if you will, behind Great Lakes Finesse, on the podcast, and he was laughing about this because he put all this work, this R&D into the hover minnow. He's like, this is it. We invented a new bait. It's going to be so great, blah, blah, blah. And then he dropped their ball head jig with a skirt on it, and everybody lost their dang minds. And he was like, wait, what? Because it's the most obvious thing in the world. But they took their ball head jig and all the different weights that they have, and they added a skirt to it. It's super good looking, allegedly. So there you go, check that out. Wire tied, it ain't going nowhere. Skirt, high quality material, looks really nice. Finesse-ish hook. So this is gonna be great for the craw, the snack craw that they have.
One thing that they came out with this year that I'm super excited about, I have been using, like I've always wanted a football head jig like this one with a short shank hook, a fine wire hook. This is 3/8 ounce and that is fine wire. They go all the way down to, this one is the 3/16, powder coated, heat treated head. The eyes on these are all perfectly clean, so nothing is getting broken off because you didn't see it. So these are ready to go. I promise you, go look for something like this, a short shank hook, naked football head. They're so hard, if not impossible to find. This is like a little dink and dunk thing that like until you get into the game, you're like, you didn't know you needed. And I have discovered I needed these. So these are sick.
In fact, you told us on the podcast you've been using shaky
I've been
heads.
using shaky heads with
just
flat
to be able
bottoms,
to get
just
it.
to be able to get some version of this. But the hook shanks are all too long, so that's the win here.
Skirted jigs, by the way, come in a whole bunch of different colors.
With a super fine skirt. Like, it is crazy how fine the skirt is. Do not see that.
Football heads come in a bunch of colors as well, and a bunch of different weights. They have some super finessey ones in here
The brown,
too.
the green pumpkin, the black, like the basics.
The colors you need. They do have this sneaky swim head, so if you don't want to go flashy, which is the sneaky underspin, it's an underspin bait, so it's got a flashy blade on there in silver or gold and a bunch of different head colors. They've added a few new colors. This is the perch. So we got green pumpkin and orange there. It's a really, really nice color, especially up in Michigan. I'm excited about this. This is the sneaky swim, so no flash as an option. Bunch of different weights of those.
That's a chartreuse shad, baby.
This is probably my favorite new color of theirs. So you got that chartreuse underneath and the white. And again, it's forward on the line tie here, so it's just like a swim bait.
Meaning where the tie-in point is way at the front. That's gonna be your swim version. They have a new one of these. It's called the hanging, what's the hanging head?
The hanging head, which is somewhere
Hold on, let me find it. Here's the hanging head in that same color, and you can see the line ties way here in the middle. What does that mean? It means if you wanna suspend this right underneath your boat and jig, you can do that, or when you cast it out, it's not gonna work its way forward quite nearly as fast. And then this is gonna be great paired up with that crazy hover minnow as well, because that's gonna dive and dart, and then this head is gonna slow you down a bit and just hang it right in front of their face.
Fishing that today. Give me that bag.
Sure.
No. Bad. No. You son of... All those colors we just showed you, like the perch, the chartreuse and white, all that is also available now in the sneaky underspin, which is super neat too. So here's a bunch of these we're going to be fishing today. So we'll be putting these to the test. We'll let you guys know how we feel about them later on once we've actually used them a whole bunch. Now we have a subscription bag.
The creme de la creme.
So this is the Banking Creek bag. This is for July and August. If you signed up right now, I believe you would still get this. It's 40 bucks, ships every 2 months, which I think is like an appropriate amount of time for delivery for subscription boxes.
Especially for like what you pay. Like,
right?
Like everyone else is like, we need to make them buy
every
more,
single month.
buy more every month. Like, you know, stay subscribed for 100 years.
Yep.
And like, bro, we didn't need that. We just wanted some cool fishing gear. So I feel like the every other month is actually way more chill. And then this setup is insane. So we got the old Booyah spinnerbait. Oh, that was like, what are we doing? This is the Covert series. This is their Finesse spinnerbait. Hold on, let me get 3/8 ounce, and it is a little bit shorter on the hook shank. This is pretty cool though. You get the Indiana blade, which you rarely see, and then you get the Colorado and silver on the white. Also a little more of a rare combo, so I'm digging that.
I love the covert spinners. It's a little bit lighter wire, so you get more vibration with these, and it's compact, which in the Midwest, up here in Michigan, works really well.
My eyeballs.
All right, well, it just got bright, y'all. It was just raining on the way here. So, okay, so next up we've got the 3-inch forward-facing sonar minnow. Pay less attention to the FF and more attention to the minnow. This in a sight flash color, the sight minnow, always juicy. Great little trailer for that bad boy right there. Colors pair up perfectly. I think that's the juice. Couple other options. They always leave multiple rigging options in this Banking Creek bag, which I love. I love that. The next thing that we got, you could pair that up with also, is the Great Lakes Finesse ball head jig. So this coming in a black color, it would be perfectly fine. Minnow on a ball head, most classic bait of classic baits of all time.
But you could hook it up to that.
You could also throw this on that ball head jig, and the colors also match up perfectly. So black ball head jig, black Hellgramite. Love this Hellgramite. I think it's really, really neat. 2.4 inches. Juicy.
If you were curious about what to get excited about with this box, it's gotta be the Juvie Craw. This bait is absolutely blowing up. We had Dan Miguel, again, on the podcast talking about this bait. He's like, we cannot keep them in stock. Super cool bait, and you can pair it with their tube head jig. This thing is friggin' awesome. I'm gonna show you how to do it, mostly because I'm probably gonna fish one of these today.
While you're rigging that, you also get a couple of stickers. Yay, but this one's pretty neat, dude.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Rebel. Here.
Oh my God, I actually get it.
You get it.
Look at that green pumpkin with the orange belly. Completely insane. This is probably the easiest rigging you're ever gonna do on any plastic. So this bad boy is hollow. You get your tube head jig. It's like a little sled head. I absolutely love this. It works for baits other than this one.
What's important about that too is it's a short shank mini tube head, right? So typically with your tube jigs, they're giant. They're big because they're meant for those
3+ inch.
3-inch and above tubes. So they work great for those. In this case, if you want a compact tube setup, you need a compact tube jig, and that's what you get.
So all you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hook, you're gonna stick it inside the bait. I haven't done anything yet. I just put it inside there. Wait till it gets right to the end, and then you can see I've got it seated.
Split the antennae. It's got a little spot there for that hook to sit perfectly.
And then you're just looking for the eye, and you're just gonna poke it through. So I'm just gonna kind of push it through, and boom, we have done a quite literally perfect rig, and that is a absolute snack for a giant smallmouth or definitely a river largie. Bam.
Okay, a couple of one-off baits that are beautiful. We get a perfect color for right now, actually. The craw around us are this color. They're this color or like bright red. So this is the Rebel Craw Crank, absolute classic, gonna be a banger. You also get something we're probably gonna fish today, a Booyah Pad Crasher. This is the Junior Poppin' Frog version, so it's got the open mouth there as well. Great color, orange and green. These are colors that are just working around us right now. So again, like I love how they pair everything up in this bag compared to a lot of other bags out there or boxes where it feels like stuff is just thrown together.
And you could say,
case in point,
this could go with that or not, and then it like sort of does, but not really.
Yep.
Nah. They give you a big, dark ribbon-tail worm. This is the juice for like ledge fishing, drop-off fishing, drag fishing, Texas, Carolina, it don't matter. A big ribbon-tail worm will get the job done in the summertime. That's a dub. But
what size is that worm, Paul?
What is this?
Because you got to be careful with what worms you call big and not big.
Sorry, large-ish. This is a 7.5-inch worm.
That's small. We throw 10 and 12-inch worms down here. Listen, I love you guys from the South. You got to understand where we actually fish as Michigan.
That's a bigger worm.
6 or 7 inches is like topping out your worms. I did catch on a 10-inch Mondo worm the other day, so...
All right.
I wanted to prove a point.
A very average size worm, you freaking weirdo. Stop making fun of my worm.
7 inches is above average.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. All right. We also have the appropriately sized EWG hook. Now, these Pro X's are actually really good. You see these a lot of places. Kind of I wouldn't even say slept on. It's just like if you're a hook nerd, you know these are solid.
What size hooks are those?
I think these are, it's a 5 count, it's a 3/0, and they are stout.
So having the appropriately sized hook and a hook that actually pairs with the plastics included in the bag is actually a novel thing right now with subscription boxes.
It is pretty novel.
Case in point, my last 6 cents bag, I got no bluegill baits, but I got the tiniest bluegill hooks I've ever seen in my life, and I just don't fish that way. So it was kind of weird because it also included a 1 ounce jig in that setup. So I was like, what are we doing? I get the concept, but I feel like it was a miss.
And here you get the 3/16 ounce bullet weights. These are the lead. It's just like, it's a throw-in. You get exactly what you need, and the brand is Bullet Weights. So.
And I didn't know that that was a Pradco brand because I bought those at our local tackle shop. Those are the ones I got you the other day.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, neat. I've seen these before.
And then here we are.
Yep.
So there's your
Texas kit.
Dragon kit. Dude, you get top water, a crankbait, a spinner bait, and then you also get a dragon craw, one of the coolest ones on the market, and you get the bonus Hellgrammite. The frick? And there's like 3 ways to fish everything. This is completely nuts.
So ultimately, the reason we like this bag is because it helps you fish top to bottom. We got a frog all the way down to dragging a worm or a craw or a tube if you want. You can do anything with this kit for 40 bucks. If you're just trying to get into fishing, it's a win. And if you already fish, it's a win. There's just a lot of high value baits that they tend to include in these bags, and they all pair up really great. So
with the new colors. Because you just got that new color on that juvie craw.
With new colors and everything, I think this is just a great option. If you're on the market, if you just want like a little every 2 month surprise that's gonna help you catch more fish, I think it's a great option. You should do it. All right, you guys, well, speaking of fishing, it's time for us to get off this dock and go fish ourselves. So we're gonna go do that right now. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, like, and do all the cool things. And we love you, and we'll see you later. Okay, bye.